Dark Dreams Don't Die, abbreviated as D4, is an adventure game with gameplay similar to Telltale games released for Xbox One in 2014 and PC in 2015. It is by the same people who made Deadly Premonition, and there are many parallels and connections between each game. The story follows an eccentric private investigator, David Young, whose wife Peggy was murdered 2 years prior to the game. Because of the trauma he suffered from her death, along with a bullet in his head, he's able to travel back in time by touching certain items called mementos, items with a lot of history to them. He quit the police force after her death and has no memories of the event except for her last words of "look for D." It is now his goal to find out who D is and travel back in time to save Peggy. Unfortunately for him, there are a lot of characters whose names start with D, including David's. He has two main allies in the game, his partner, Forrest Kaysen, sharing the same name as the character in Deadly Premonition, and Amanda, a girl who behaves like a cat, but looks like a human and is most likely David's actual cat that he just doesn't remember. All of the characters in the game are very dramatic and eccentric, just like David himself. I honestly can't think of any characters that are normal. The gameplay is similar to Telltale. You can explore your surrounding areas and inspect certain items. You also make conversation choices with characters you come across, and there are sometimes quick-time events. Because of all the different options and choices you can make each time you play, there's a lot of replayability value. Right now, Season 1 has been released, consisting of a prologue and 2 episodes, and unfortunately the rest of the game was cancelled due to the director leaving the company who released the game. Even though the story was never finished to completion, this game is definitely worth playing, especially if you're a fan of Twin Peaks and Deadly Premonition. There is plenty of material for memes because of how ridiculous it is. One part that always killed me and my friends is David and Forrest having a conversation while shoving food down their throats, to the part they put more food in their mouths than could ever be realistically possible. Pretty much any conversation they have about food is hysterical.
Here in Boston, when you say hot dog, people think pork. But in New York, it's all about beef. In other words, for Diana, even hot dogs mean beef.
She doesn't like that you eat pork hot dogs?
She thinks I've forsaken my hometown. She can't forgive me for that, so she gets all tough on me.
So she loves you, but she also loves her hometown just as much.
Yeah. Will I ever be able to win out against the Big Apple?
God only knows.
You said it.
Amanda's behavior is also amusing, especially when you see her dashing around the apartment trying to catch a mouse like an actual cat, but she appears as a human.
Escape now.
The first actual stage you start searching for clues is on an airplane. Almost every passenger on board has the first name starting with D, and every single one of them is very strange. There's a woman named Deborah that is paranoid about the plane crashing, a US Marshal named Derek who seems to know about David even though they've never met, and Duncan, a flamboyant fashion designer who has a mannequin named Suki as his partner.
We're top fashion designers, the both of us.
Anytime someone in real life says or writes avant-garde, this is all I can think of.
Avant-garde!
There's also a flight steward named Philip Shaney who straight up does drugs in front of all the passengers.
Wasn't it? I have to admit, I didn't expect to ever see you again.
I can't imagine why.
There are a lot of collectibles and hidden scenes to find, so it warrants multiple playthroughs. In David's apartment, you can crack open fortune cookies that have very strange fortunes in them. I had fun showing my friends the game while collecting rewards playing through it multiple times. You can change characters' costumes, and Amanda runs the shop you purchase items from.
An ancient troll. They apparently wipe their butts using leaves.
The voice acting is great, the visuals are very stylized and vibrant, it's just a really good looking and sounding game overall. The story was very engaging and the characters were the biggest reason to play the game. It's a huge shame it never got continued with Season 2. The last episode release ended with a huge cliffhanger and was probably the worst place to stop. This is one of those games that almost no one knows about, but it's a hidden gem. If you are able to play it just to play it. Maybe someday it will get picked up again to continue the story.
If you wanna know about me, one fucking investigation.
Hand over your evidence! Whatever it is! I need it!
Are you serious? You're so silly!
Then I'll just have to take it! By force!
Hot beverage?
If you really do know who D is,
If I really know, you'll what? Dong-a-ling-a-ding-dong! Oh my goodness! Suki!
You'll get over it!
Yeah, things just got serious!
Alright, Zapatero! I'm knocking this one out of the park!
If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, and check out my Patreon and Redbubble. They help me out a lot. Thank you for watching.